Yesterday, I did receive an email. It was from Anne Hathaway's publicist, and he forwarded a message to me from Anne Hathaway. Hi, and welcome to Flaawsome Talk. I am Kersti Flo. I'm an entertainment reporter and a journalist. I've been working in Hollywood for many years, and I've interviewed a lot of celebrities. I have about 500 interviews here on my channel. If you want to browse around, feel free to do that. Lately, I've been doing some videos where I take you a little bit behind the scenes of what's happening when I do these kind of interviews, and trying to just be a bit transparent and honest about this job, and also to show you more of the celebrities and my interactions with them. So I was going to talk about something else today, but yesterday I did receive an email that changed things. So on Saturday, I published a video where I kind of went into one of my old interviews from 2012, where I was doing a press junket, as we call them, for Les Miserables. I had this idea that I was going to sing the questions and that the actors could sing the answers back to me. It was kind of a silly thing, but I thought it was fun. It was a musical after all, and most actors played along with it. It was Hugh Jackman, he was even rhyming, and he's always super nice. And Eddie Redmayne, Amanda Seyfried, Samantha Barks, and Russell Crowe. My duties to the law. And Anne Hathaway. So I showed you how all the actors reacted to my question, and how some of them sang back, some of them started laughing. And then I showed a clip of Anne Hathaway, who was not very positive to that idea. I also showed a couple of clips of her when she was being quite dismissive towards me, and it created some reactions. A lot of you commented saying that she was super rude, and some were protecting her and saying that she probably had just a bad day. Yesterday I did receive an email. It was from Anne Hathaway's publicist, and he forwarded a message to me from Anne Hathaway. I would have to say I was pretty shocked. I had not expected her to reach out to me at all. I thought she was never going to even see that video, but she did. And she did something pretty amazing. She sent me a long email explaining to me what she was going through right then when she did this interview, and she apologized for giving me an awful interview, basically. It was so touching to me. Just talking about it makes me almost teary-eyed, because I was just so grateful that she did that. And it was a very personal note, and we decided that I wouldn't share exactly what was in the email, but I just wanted to share with you guys what she did, because I thought that was just so amazing. I'm sorry there's a bit of noise in the background. They're trimming all the trees here, so please try and not listen to that awful noise. So I replied to her, and I said, you know, I'm so grateful that you did this, and it means a lot to me that she did. And I said, you know, if you ever want to sit down and talk about it, I'm here. And then she invited me to interview her for her next movie that's coming out in May. So yes, I'm really looking forward to that, Anne. Thank you so much for doing that. I have so much respect for people who own up to their mistakes and say they're sorry. Sorry is such a powerful word. And this is so amazing. So thank you really from the bottom of my heart for saying that you're sorry. And it's a long time ago now. I have no hard feelings about it. And, I think this is kind of the message that I've been trying to put forward in these videos that I've been making, that we have to be nice and polite to each other. And I try to own up to my mistakes. I'm showing you a lot of my big mistakes when I'm making a jerk out of myself. And, You know, sometimes I have good ideas for interviews, sometimes they fall flat, you know, but I want to be open and share all of that. I think when things like this happen, it's just so worth it. And it shows that we're all humans. We're all in this together. It doesn't matter who you are. Let's just be nice to each other and polite and treat each other with respect. So all my respect to Anne Hathaway for this. Thank you so much. So I'm always trying to read up on the comments that I get on my videos. So sometimes there's a lot of them and I see kind of the tendencies of what's happening in the comment section. And I noticed that a lot of people said, you know, that these celebrities have to sit for hours and hours and answer questions, and it's really hard and very tiring for them. And I agree with you completely. But I also wanted to say that from the journalistic perspective here, we also have to work a lot in these interviews. You know, sometimes we travel to the other side of the world, we're jet lagged, you have to go and watch the movie, you come back, you have to prepare a lot of questions. Sometimes you interview 7 people and you need 10 questions for each person. That's a lot of preparations, and trying to make it interesting. You know, you have to make your editor happy who sent you there to do the interview for that TV show. And they're asking you to ask specific questions and you have to follow their lead. And then you show up at the hotel of the day of the interviews, and there's like a hospitality suite that you sit in a hotel room and you can wait for hours and hours. I've waited up to 7 hours for an interview. So we also have to go through stuff to get the interviews. I just wanted to say that. And then sometimes, you know, you go in and then you interview someone and they're being dismissive towards you. It's kind of hurtful. And I'm not saying that, I mean, as a journalist, people say you should be tough, but I have feelings, and I think that's a good thing because it makes you more relatable. And I think, you know, when I sit down and I talk to people, I try to relate to the person I'm talking to, and I try to get their human side, and I try to go deeper. Sometimes that could come off as I am being, you know, poking into their private life, but my intentions is always to try and learn something new about the person. And I think with asking the same questions over and over again, that happens a lot in these type of interviews. I don't find that interesting for anyone, not for me, not for the person sitting there answering, and not for anyone watching it. So that's why I'm always trying to think outside the box. Some things that I always taught, you know, I used to be a teacher back in Norway a long time ago. I studied teaching in university and I worked with kids up till high school. And I always taught them to think outside the box and try to be a bit different and, you know, go outside of your comfort zone. And sometimes that's super scary. I hate doing it, but I do it all the time because I feel like you always learn something new about yourself when you do that. And also hats off to all teachers because that is a hard job. It's a lot harder than sitting in a room interviewing people or being interviewed for that matter. I've had 30 kids in a classroom, and you have to be teaching them stuff and you have to care about them, and then you also have to discipline them. It's a lot to balance, and then you're exhausted, but that doesn't mean that you have a free card to be mean or rude to them or their parents or the other teachers. I just wanted to say that we all have bad days, and it's really hard sometimes not to let it affect you. And I think, you know, like Anne Hathaway learned from this episode, and I've learned from other things that I've done, that we should always just like own up to our mistakes. And I think it's just so much respect in that. So again, thank you, Anne, for letting me share this with everyone, and good luck to you in your career. And thank you everyone for watching, and thanks for all your amazing comments and your encouragement. And yes, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and go out there, be polite and nice to people, and have a beautiful day. See you in the next one.